Next, live on the show by head coach of the Columbiana softball team, Daryl Kurtz. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I think he's muted.
Hold on, Coach. You might be muted here. Let's see.
Oh, sorry.
No, we're good there. Okay. Thought glitch gremlins were attacking us again, but
a little technical difficulty. Before we started, I just wanted to say we really appreciate what you guys are doing for like the local teams, bringing them exposure to the girls. And we really appreciate all you guys do coming out and calling games. It's really cool. I think it's unique to our area. And, as a coach, we appreciate it.
Coach, we love supporting you guys and definitely covering you in the softball team. And before you came on, I kind of made the quip that you and Maddie are kind of like the Karen and Ralph Weekleys of high school softball, flipping roles and still helping out with this team. Talk about what it's like kind of going from assistant last year to now, obviously, having a new baby and you having to take over kind of the head coaching role this year, but still having Maddie around, still having her as an assistant and what that dynamic has been like working with her with the softball program.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dream, when we first started out in the western part of the state in Tiffin, as she finished up, it kind of the softball job was open out there, and they're like, well, your girlfriend, she plays college softball, right? So that kind of makes you able to coach, qualified to coach. So for 2 years, she was my assistant. We moved back here, and we kind of swapped roles, and I was the assistant to her, being the head coach. And now with the baby, it just, it just made sense for her to kind of take a step back, and me to take a step forward and take over that role. But she's still really involved, and she does a lot for our program. And I know the girls really appreciate her being around still. And we just bring the baby to practice sometimes.
Which I'm sure with high school girls, that's always a hit.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It kind of gets them off track a little bit. I get them back focused on what we're trying to get accomplished for the day. But no, it's been great.
Speaking of those girls too, Coach, what we always like to do, we start off a lot of our area coaches with meeting the team segments. So I want you to shout out some of the returners you got for this season's team and some of the new faces for the Columbiana softball team that we'll be seeing this year.
Yeah, so we have 3 returning seniors this year that are starters and going to get a ton of playing time. We returned Tori Long. Obviously, she's our ace pitcher in the circle. When she's not pitching, she's going to play shortstop for us. She had an excellent season last year. She was all conference, second team all region. So obviously we're super excited to have her back. She committed to IUP during the off season. So she's going to continue her softball career after this season. I know she's excited about that. We also returned Julia Rapp. She plays center field for us. She hits at the top of our order. She's a dual athlete. She's kind of a track star in Columbiana, and we're happy to have her on our softball team as well. As I said, she's a speedster. She really gets our lineup going at the top. Plays an excellent center field. Our third senior is Audrey Smith. She's our catcher. She's been our catcher for the last 3 years. So she has a lot of innings under her belt and a lot of experience, and she does a great job handling our staff. And we're super excited for what she can contribute during her senior year as well. We have one junior, Maddie Hitchcock. She's a returner. She got some at bats for us last year. Plays the corner infield positions, maybe some outfield. So we're excited to have her back as well. We had quite a few sophomores that contributed last year. Ava Devanzo, she played all over the place. She played some right field. She played third. She played second. She played first. We're excited to kind of lock her into the first base position and just let her kind of take a breath and just focus on that. And she hit over 500 for us last year and had a ton of doubles. So she has a pretty big stick and she can swing it well. Elena Johnson kind of plays all over the place for us. She's a returning sophomore. She'll play second base. She'll play right field. She might even get some innings behind the plate this year. to kind of ease the burden on Audrey Smith. Then we have a huge freshman class. 9 freshmen are joining us. So we're super excited about some of those girls. Caitlin Pleska is going to be in the circle for us. She's gonna get quite a few innings. When Tori Long's pitches, she's probably going to be our shortstop. But we can move her around to third base. She can play first base. Cameron Perkins is another freshman that we're super excited about. She's sliding into that third base spot. She also catches. This is the first year she's played third base, but just watching her, it looks natural. So I think she's going to continue to grow and get even better as the season progresses in that spot. Marin Hepler is another one, middle infielder. Yeah, she'll probably pitch a little JV for us this year, play some second base and some shortstop. We might even see her at third base at times. So we're excited to have her. Olivia Bell's another one. She probably gets some at-bats for us. She's another corner infielder, first and third. Haley Smith might get some opportunities to run bases for us. She's another track girl, a speedster freshman we're excited about, just to continue her knowledge of the game is going to be big for her as she grows. Lillian Hoshar. I mean, we got tons of freshmen that Nora Eineman. I have a cheat sheet in front of me. Ella Doda is probably going to play some left field for us to start the season. She's another speedster that can get on base and run, and we're excited about her fielding. Man, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. but yeah, we're super excited about this team. I know we have high expectations internally. The girls kind of feel like we got bounced a little early last year, first round of playoffs. We went up against a tough Rootstown team, and so they're kind of chomping at the bit a little bit to get these games going again and see what we have here.
Coach, I'm looking at your schedule, and I think that'll be a big component in how prepared you'll be for the tournament run this year. I mean, you put a lot of really good teams on this slate that are really going to test you guys that go way past the Division IV level. Talk about this schedule, not just the EOAC and the challenges that you'll always face in there, but also the non-conference teams that you've put on that are really going to test this team.
Yeah, absolutely. The EOAC is the first goal. So the first goal is we want to control that conference. Last year we shared the conference championship with Lisbon. We split with them, and we're excited to get right back into it. We want to outright win the EOC this year. So that's goal number one. And then when I sat down with our AD and our coaching staff, we really wanted to challenge the girls. We wanted to pick up some teams. We have a doubleheader against Girard. A solid softball team, a little bit bigger than us. We're excited about that. 2 games with them. We picked up Fitch. Obviously, that's a big-time program. And, I've heard some things about the pitching staff that they have. I know they just had a girl that went to Penn State, but they have a freshman that I know is bringing it. We're excited for that challenge. Friday, we scrimmage South Range. I look at South Range as one of the class teams in the area. Have that softball prestige, and we're excited to after them and see how we stack up against some of these bigger teams in our area. We picked up Hubbard, Howland. I mean, we're trying to challenge the girls. We want to, when we get to that playoff run, we want to be battle tested. And going into this, I think we have one open slot. So we get into playoffs. We always have an opportunity to add a game, before one of these playoff games and give us an opportunity to keep the girls sharp. This year, for the first time, we're taking our team down to Pigeon Forge, and over Easter break, we're going to go down there we leave on a Thursday. We'll be down there. We're going to play 2 games on Friday, play a game on Saturday, probably play a game Sunday morning before we head back. And that's always a challenge because you never really know what you're going to get into down there. There's teams all over the place down there. Competition is always really high. So we wanted to challenge our girls and give them opportunities to shine against good competition.
Coach, help me finish this sentence. Columbiana will win the EOAC if
pitching. It always comes down to pitching. You know, I like our number one. I like Tori Long. It's awesome. I would love to get, you know, between 75 and 100 innings out of her this year. That would be the goal. And, you know, that number two spot, I'd love for it to be Caitlin Pleska. I'd like to squeeze 50 innings out of her, 75 innings. You know, Ava Devanzo, we're going to need her to eat some innings for us as well. But really, I mean, it comes down to pitching. If you have solid pitching, you're going to be in games. Tori Long's a pitcher that, you know, last year, 55 innings, she had over 100 strikeouts. So, I mean, you have a girl that's striking out 2 batters an inning. It really shortens the game. It takes a lot of pressure off your defense. So we know what we're going to get out of Tori. You know, those other girls, we want to play sound defense behind them, make the routine plays, and then every now and then get one of those exceptional plays, diving catches, you know, the crazy off-balance throws. But that's really important. That's our focus. Our focus is with that 2, 3, 4 starter girls. We want to attack the strike zone and use that solid defense. We feel like we have a really good defense in our infield and a solid outfield defense with girls that can fly, and that's important. And I'm like I said, I'm just super excited to get into real games and see what we got.
Coach, this Columbiana softball program has always had strong community support. They've always been historically very successful as a program. You know, they've been to a state championship game before in their program's history. Talk about kind of the prestige of Columbiana athletics and what it's like to be a part of this community and what makes it so special to coach for the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm super excited. You know, when we had conversations about Madison taking a step back, I kind of was hoping that they would ask me to take a step forward just because I really like what we built here these past 2 years. I know it stunk. We had the COVID year, you know, in there as well, but we were super excited about what we're building. You know, my wife, she does a great job going down and working with the youth programs, you know, 10U, 12U, 14U. She's involved. She's always visible at those games. She does lessons with some of those younger girls, and we're just trying to keep building. You know, as far as the prestige goes, I'm glad you brought up that state championship. You know, I think they were in the final game. Coach Wilkinson, Bonnie Wilkinson, was the head coach of that team. She's part of my staff. She helps out, and you know, she sees everything. She doesn't miss a thing. And she's been super helpful. I mean, her daughter is the athletic director here. Katie Libb is helping us out this year. She's one of our hitting coaches, and she actually has been with us since the beginning. But you know, she was a player on that team. So the mentality is you bring all these people in that have been there and they have this experience. They can, you know, talk to the girls about that. The expectations are super high, you know, and that's a big part of it. And to continue to, you know, gas down and build and keep going.
Talking about those assistants too, Coach, is there any other big names inside this Columbiana softball program that you'd like to give a highlight to?
Yeah, obviously I'm excited about my 3 seniors. You know, they're all 3-year starters, have a ton of softball underneath their belt. And I'm excited to, you know, to sprinkle these young girls in. You know, we only have 1 junior in our program. That's Matt Hitchcock. I brought her up earlier. Ton of sophomores, ton of freshmen. And, you know, we're just going to continue to build. Yeah. Yes. My wife's yelling at me. I forgot to mention another big part of our staff is Coach Young. Wyatt Young, this is his first year. He's a Findlay baseball guy. He was a catcher for 4 years in Findlay, and so he's been doing a great job with our catchers, and just overall, all over the place. He hits balls for us. Obviously, I got the neck brace on, so I can't do any of that stuff. So I really rely on my assistants. You know, Kerrigan Yannick, we keep it in-house here. Madison's sister, she comes. She's thrown BP for us, live pitching. You know, Dee Dee, we haven't got Dee Dee out there, and that's the middle Yannick girl. We haven't got her out yet. I'm working on her.
Come on, Darian.
Yeah, I know. We got to get her out there. And obviously, my father-in-law, Frank Yannick, he's been there and helped. You know, so I'll take all hands on deck. We'll take anybody we can get out here to help, and it really takes a ton. You know, a lot of experiences and a lot of people contributing.
Got to thank Madison for keeping us on track.
Yeah. Yep. Coach, before we let you go, I want to let you give the community kind of the call to action to come out and support you guys this year, and let them know when your first game on the schedule is and where they can find you guys.
Yeah, so our first home game is a week from Thursday. That's our first home game. Our first official game is that Wednesday. We go to Western Reserve. But yeah, absolutely. We've worked a ton down on at the field. We have actually tonight after practice, we have an inter squad tonight. We'll be doing our field day with the parents. We have a lot of stuff that we're trying to get accomplished. We want the field to look great. Making this as inviting for people to come down and support us as possible. This year we're doing outfield banners. We've got a lot of local businesses within the community that are supporting us this year, which has really helped subsidize our trip to Pigeon Forge, which is, you know, obviously a big part of the middle part of our season. But yeah, we want everybody to come out. We usually get a good crowd at our games, but let's really try to push the limits. Let's get everybody down there on the fence. And the girls really feed off that energy when everybody's out there watching them.
I have been to many games at Firestone Park, so can't wait to get down there myself. Call a couple games for you guys, and see some of you guys. We look forward to a great season, and we also look forward to talking to you again real soon, Coach. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. And like I said, keep up the great work, guys. This is unique to our area, and it gives a lot of teams that might not get this type of exposure some exposure. It's awesome. Thanks. Really appreciate it, guys.
We love doing it, Coach, and we love talking to coaches like you guys, and we'll be looking forward to highlighting your program again real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.